getting yourself safely at anchor means for a great day out, or if you're staying for a few days, some peace of mind while you go to bed. Knowing where to anchor, making sure you've done all your preparation work before you drop that anchor is crucial to a successful night out. Welcome back to the Rudder. My name's Damian. We're on board Antoinette, our Merry Fisher 895. And anchoring is something we do a lot of on Antoinette. We really like poking around the bays in Moreton Bay and finding nice little spots to drop the anchor and stay a night or two in solitude. But making sure where you drop your anchor and how much chain to pull out, how much rode, what the winds are doing, everything just means you get more peace of mind. Even just if you're stopping for a day or if you're stopping for a night or two, you want to make sure that anchor holds and you are where you want to be. So there's a few crucial points for that. We're going to be doing this here at Peel Island, which is a beautiful place to anchor, especially in a northerly wind. And we're doing it here because the seas are very clear and we'll be able to see everything that's happening. So we're going to drive up. We're going to find a nice spot to anchor. We're in not too much water so we can see everything happening. We're only in about a meter of water now. We're going to drop that anchor. Brooke's going to give me directions from the bow. She'll actually be on the control and I'll be on the helm, maneuvering the boat so we don't run into any issues, don't run over the anchor or anything like that. One of the crucial questions to anchoring is how much rode should you put out? So how much chain and rope should go with your anchor. We're on a 9-meter vessel, so we're going to be in 1 meter of water, which isn't very much. But truthfully, if you don't have many people around, more is better. The bigger the chain out, the more hold you've got. In general, as long as the winds are nice and calm, I'd be going for a 4-to-1. So we're in 1 meter of water, so you'd want at least 4 meters of chain on the bottom, plus you've got the height from the boat to the water, and then from the water to the ground, till the seabed. So you have to remember that, you know, okay, I just said 4 meters then, but then there's another meter from my bowsprit to the water, and then another meter from the water to the seabed. So there's another 2 meters of chain that need to go out. You need to have a good amount of chain along the seabed. The anchor isn't actually what holds the boat there. It's really the chain that should be holding you down. So as you're bouncing around in places like this where we get a bit of sweep, we don't want all of that chain lifting up to the anchor. You want to have some chain out before it even starts pulling on the anchor. The other thing to consider before you anchor is your preparation. Where are you going to anchor? Where are the winds coming from? Are they going to change overnight or are they going to change through the day? And what the tides are. We're on an outrunning tide at the minute, so we're going to lose another meter of water. Now, you noted we're in a meter at the minute, so we will be moving to some deeper water. So you need to know what your tide ranges are, and if it's on a rising tide, you know, it goes to 2.5 meters later this evening. So if we were staying overnight, you'd have to take into account that we would be in 3.5 meters of water. So times that by 4, and now we need 12 meters of chain. So even though at the same point we needed only 5 or 6 meters, by the time the tide comes in, you'll want at least 15 meters out. So they're the calculations that need to take place before you drop your anchor. So there are a few things to consider. So let's get everything in place and see how it goes. We'll have Brooke on the bow giving me directions. I'll be on the controls, guiding the boat, and yeah, it's a team sport. There's a few little communication cues we give, and I'll talk through those as Brooke gives them to us. So let's get this anchor down and stay nice and safe. So we're just maneuvering in to find our spot. The tide is running out, as I mentioned. We're going to do it in a fairly shallow point, just so we can see the anchor and see what happens. We're going to be anchoring in about 1 meter. We won't be here for too long. The tide is going out, so I just wanted to show you this. But this is part of just knowing where you're anchoring. We're on a sandy floor here with some seagrass around, so we want to try and avoid the seagrass. Brooke will be heading up to the front soon when we get everything ready, and we'll be dropping anchor. So we're just always looking around for anything that could be happening. And when you're ready to pick your point, get your first mate to go up and get the anchor ready, and we will drop anchor. Brooke's ready to go. She's just telling me where to go for the last little bits. We're in 1 meter. Okay, so I've stopped.
Okay, ready?
Yep. So we drop anchor at about 1 meter a second. So I just wait before we're ready, and then now I'm in reverse. The wind's got me a little bit. So I've just got some reverse speed up and waiting for the anchor to grab. There it goes. And it's grabbed nice and straight, which is what Brooke looks for. If it starts shaking or rattling, the anchor hasn't grabbed or bitten into the sand. You might need to reset. We'll do it all again. Alright, so that's definitely on. And now we're just going to let out the anchor to our desired amount. Just all the while keeping an eye on everything, looking behind you. And we're happy. So we'll just get everything set. Well, we're at anchor. The wind's just picked up just as we got into anchor, so we're bouncing around a little bit, but that's fine. We do have about 10 meters out we're in 0.9 meter of water, so that is absolutely plenty and would keep us very secure, especially with the sand bottom that's here. There's lots of different aspects to anchoring. Probably the biggest one is preparation. Before you get anywhere near dropping anchor, is making sure you have an idea what the winds might do. You can definitely know what the tides are going to do, and taking into account those differences. So you've got enough road at both points to not bottom out when you get to low tide, and make sure when you get to high tide, you don't lift off anchor. I know our friends in the UK have to deal with that a lot more than we do here in Queensland. Some crazy, meters and meters of tide. We barely get a tidal range of 2 meters, so that's fine. So yeah, preparation is key. And then once you've got anchor down, the last thing you do, and I've done it in some other videos, is set that anchor circle, especially if you're staying overnight. So if something does happen, you've got an alert that'll let you know before you get into anything too dangerous. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you've got any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'm sure with anchoring there'll be some comments about how everyone does it. That's awesome to share the community. Hope you enjoyed that video, and we'll see you next time on the Rudder.